standing, unaware of the fact that there is a fish underwater. Bluefin tuna. Just one of these could pay off the whole loan, as the reel spins faster and faster, and the man suddenly woke up from his sleep, realizing something was wrong. Matt rushed forward to check, without saying a word. He gripped the rod tightly in his hand. He's completely oblivious to the customers behind him. The assistant reminded him that the rod belonged to the customer, but by now Matt had lost his mind. He just gripped the rod tightly and fought with the big fish. He's pretty sure this fish is worth a lot of money, and the customers saw the scene is also instantly on the head. But in the face of the customer's constant urging, Matt didn't pay any attention at all. He's totally focused on the big fish underwater. The other guy kept urging him to leave. An exasperated Matt set his rod straight. He took out the tools he had with him. Matt had lost his mind to the money. The customer had no choice but to return to the cabin to save his life. After solving the problem, Matt continued to struggle with the big fish, trying to exhaust the tuna's strength. But it's only been 8 hours. The fish has not lost any of its strength, but Matt's strength is gradually being sapped. But the thought that this fish could make him rich and free, he gritted his teeth and gripped the rod as hard as he could. I don't know how long it took. The fish under the water suddenly stopped swimming, and Matt finally got a good look at the fish. It's a bluefin tuna with a market value of millions of dollars. Matt used his last ounce of strength. He dragged the tuna to his side. The assistant comes to his aid. However, just as Matt was about to hook the fish, and then it happened, spent almost 10 hours with the tuna. Luckily, with his persistence, he finally dragged the tuna to the side of the boat. However, just as the two men were about to salvage it, an accident occurred. Seeing $10 million just slip away from their eyes, Matt was frozen in place, staring blankly at the sea. He couldn't calm down for a long time. Although this time did not salvage the tuna up, but Matt was still convinced that he would not return home empty-handed. After returning to the shore to rest for a while, Matt sailed back out to the same spot. And now Matt had been completely overwhelmed by money. He wouldn't stop until he caught a bluefin tuna. As long as we continue to fish in these waters, then the tuna will surely be hooked again. Soon he threw all his rods into the sea, in order to be able to attract the tuna as soon as possible. They also spilled pork blood into the sea. As expected, it didn't take long. A huge creature came quickly following the smell of blood, but they didn't even know it. The fish under the water is not a bluefin tuna, it's a ferocious shark. Experienced Matt spotted the anomaly just in time, so he handed the rod over to a wealthy customer, but the man was dragged to the edge of the boat. Luckily, with the help of Matt and the others, the rich girl was able to escape. After a few moments of respite, Matt was back in the swing of things, and threw a large amount of blood into the water. After only 10 years, the fishing rod suddenly made a small noise. An alert Matt immediately gripped the rod in his hand. Having experienced a tuna drag not long ago, Matt is very sure that the fish underwater is the tuna. But at this point, his behavior was very unusual. Even though I fixed the rod on the rich man's body, but what is this all attract the tuna quickly? So he sprinkled a lot of blood in the seawater, and it didn't take long. The fishing rod suddenly made a subtle ringing sound. The experienced Matt was sure the giant underwater was the bluefin tuna. However, at this point Matt wasn't showing much excitement. He even gave away his rod. The rich man did not refuse, but he didn't even know it. Matt had secured the entire rod to his body, and then it happened.
Years now, and you're his.
Soon the tycoon disappeared without a trace at the bottom of the sea. But what exactly was Matt's purpose in doing this? It turns out that just before Matt went to sea, he met the rich man's wife on the shore. And this woman is Matt's ex-girlfriend. After a night of discussion, Anna was very sad. After Matt kept asking questions, her rich husband wasn't very nice to her. He even physically assaulted her on a regular basis. As she talked, Anna shed tears of sadness. The next day Anna found Matt once again, and told him her plan. It turned out that all the time she had been with the tycoon, has saved several $100 million by some means. As long as the two of them cooperate to stage an accident, the money can be shared with Matt, and live happily ever after again. Faced with the temptation of money and beauty, Matt didn't even think twice about agreeing to the request. After all, he didn't want to spend his life like this. And then, after some discussion, they decided to use the tuna's toe to create an accident to send the tycoon to the northwest for good. However, when the two men returned to the shore after doing this, Anna only had $1 million to spare for Matt. Matt asked Anna about it with a suspicious look on his face. That's not what she said the other day, but Anna said she didn't say anything, and then she left the place, leaving a dumbfounded Matt alone in the same place. And that was the end of the film.